Hello Groovers, this is Richie back again with a quick video and an update regarding my MT10. So I recently had a bit of a run-in, a bit of a oh shit moment with a car. Basically squeezed on those front brakes as hard as I could, and they didn't really take the speed off in a fashion which I thought was that of a 1000cc motorcycle. I wasn't breaking the speed limit, in fact I was doing the speed limit, but a car came over on top of me to just decided that he needed to go left, like just right there, and so that's ran me into the gutter, squeezed the brakes on as hard as I could. So I've decided I'm going to upgrade the brakes. That is pads. I was going to do the lines, but the work involved for a bike that doesn't go on the track, I think was a bit of overkill. And the second video in this little series of videos will be for the R1 full master cylinder setup, mounted using all the original switch gear for the cruise and for the brake lights, and my MT10 levers. So these are the pads I'm going to be installing. I'm only going to show you how to do one side because essentially it's the same, they are the same caliper. So I'm just going to show you how to do the one side. It's the same principle either side, and we'll go from there. Now before you begin, you are going to need some tools for this little adventure. So you'll need a pair of side cutters. I've got 2 pairs because there are little circlips there, a screwdriver to turn the retaining pins, or I should say pin, there is only one per caliper, and a pair of multi grips just to make sure you've got those the 2 brake pistons pushed back as far as they'll go. Righto Groovers, to begin with, you want to pay special attention to this setup of this big retaining spring. He holds your pads in at the particular height on the disc. You've got 2 circlips, 1 and 2, and you've got a big retaining pin that goes right through the center of your pads. That also helps keep your pad exactly where you want it to be. So to begin with, you just want to turn this rod around, that turns that pin there. Take your little circlip pliers, get out of the light, pop that one out there, pop that one out there. Now pay special attention before you remove it how these are. The 2 little arms come out and come up to the top of the caliper. Then you basically, from the inside, just put your finger on this rod here, but from the inside, and take your side cutters, holding on the spring there, pop that out like that. You'll see it's got, I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera or not, it's got holes in, it's got some little holes in it. Yep, there they are there. That's where your little circlips are kind of locate. Put that down out of the way, and that spring should just come out like that. Set that down in the way that it goes back in. Then you want to reach in of your caliper, and you want to squeeze your pads back. It is going to be hard. It's not easy. So I've got a pair of multi grips, and I'm just going to give it a squeeze. Just use some form of lever. That'll squeeze back the 2 pistons in here. You want to pop that pad out there like that. As you can see, these have got plenty of life in them, but unfortunately they just don't have the feel of these Bembros. You want to take your new pad out of the box like so. have two pads in all their glory. There is no inner or outer pad. They just making sure that those pistons are back in. Flip that pad down in there like that. Then I think probably wouldn't hurt to pop the pin back in just for the time being and squeeze your front brakes up. That'll get the fluid moving again, and it'll push the brand new pad, like the two pistons where you've just replaced the pad, it'll push those out. And just keep squeezing it until you have a full lever, and then stop it. Come back down here, take this pad, take out this pin, same as we did before. Slot that out of there. Now you're working on the inner pad. Just give that a push back in again if you have to. Use your tool. Be careful not to scratch your paint on your rims or anything like that. Get that in there like that. Give it a bit of a squeeze. You will not push these back in with your finger. Absolutely not. If you can, you've obviously got other problems with your braking system. Slot that pad out of there. Again, they have loads of meat on them, but we want to do upgrades. So again, I don't know if the camera can pick it up. I'll see if I can move the lighting around. Those two little brass cups in there, they are your brake pistons. When you squeeze the brake on, they push out and squeeze the pad onto the disc. So you just want to slide these in there like that. Find where they're going. You may be able to put your fingers down the back to hold their heights. Slot that pin back in there like that. And Bob is your uncle. In we go. Oh yeah, spring clips being a bitch. Wouldn't have it any other way. Thing. Here we go. Just need a bit of muscle. And just here we go. That's in. Just push the pin in until that's almost level, and then you look down in here, down this way, and you'll see the two little holes for your circlips. Get a circlip. Pop your little circlip into the hole like that. So the second one, and pop him. Just give him a squeeze back just so you can see the full hole, and then pop that in there like that. Turn your clips down so they're out of harm's way. Then you want to come back up here, and you'll notice your lever will be very easy to squeeze. That's because you've just pushed all that brake fluid up into the reservoir here. So now you want to give it a squeeze down, and there we go. 3 or 4 light squeezes, and you've got a full feel of the lever back. And to do the other side is basically the exact same as what we've done here. Be sure to get a light bit of emery paper and just rub it over the surface of the whole disc, so that when it comes to just running in your brake pads, your pads have the pads have a fresh metal surface to rub against. And then I believe running in pads on a motorcycle is pretty much the same as a car. You just want to say go somewhere reasonably quiet, even up and down your own street, if that is quiet enough. Thankfully I live in a very quiet street, so it's pretty easy for me. You basically just want to get up to about 60 or 70 k's, and then squeeze the brake on, slow back down to about 20 k's, back to 70, down to 20, up to 70, down to 20. Do that a couple of times. Don't cook the brake. You just want to help it bed in. It may take a couple of stops, but it'll get there. Yeah, so that's the whole box and dice. My next video will be, hopefully I'll have some parts soon-ish, within the next week or so. I'll be upgrading my brake master cylinder up here to the full R1 setup, which I've bought this other part, which will mean I can still retain my Mt10 lever, because they are, the whole lever setup is a little bit different in here. So all this swinging arm thing, that all gets unbolted. There's another bracket in here that has to be changed out, and then I can retain my levers with Mt10 on them. Over and above all, guys, that's about all I've got for today. Feel free to just drop a like, give me some feedback, and I quickly want to welcome all my new subscribers. Those who have been following my channel for a while now can recall my Akrapovic pipe fit up. I've received heaps of subscribers, so I just want to welcome you guys. If there's something that you guys want to see me do a video on, just drop it in comments below. I do believe shortly I'm getting the Akrapovic end can. I'm told the wife has got that in the works for my birthday soon, so good to see I have a woman that understands exactly what I want. She could have bought me just the boring socks and undies, but no, she wants to buy me an Akrapovic end can. Sensational. Anyway, guys, that's all from me. Just remember to ride safe and preferably keep the bike upright.